Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight we got round number 8, season 9 for the Core GT series. We're at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. This beautiful, just festival of speed here is the track of Monza, and it looks like for the drivers, the weather is going to hold off. There was a slight chance leading up to the event here tonight. There's about a 48% chance of rain, but it looks like, at least for now, the rain is holding off. The clouds certainly do look menacing in the distance, and you never know if a little cell pops up or not. But as of now, the track is dry, the times are fast, and we're ready for round number 8 here, as there's only 3 races left in the season. We'll take a look at the points coming into tonight. Dominic Ford obviously leading in the gold division and overall by 57 over Mason Smith. Nick Terrell in third, 66 back. In the silver, Nathan Nickerson is your leader, but only by 1 point over Braden Carlson. Justin Kirby in third. In the bronze division, very, very close. Tim Thompson on top of the boards. 3 points back is CJ Conklin, and 4 points back Jesse Francisco. Got a nice sized field out here. Once again, looks like we got 29 drivers that are set to take the green flag here tonight. They're just finishing up with qualifying right now. But a few new drivers to the field. They're going to get out there and take their one-off free races here. One of them being my co-commentator, as Tyler Scozen out there on the track and looking pretty well so far. It looks like he's about midway through the pack in this qualifying session right now. And I mean, you see those clouds, and it's looking like it's not going to rain, but if you look at those clouds, it certainly tells you otherwise. So who knows what we have in store here tonight, but it's going to be a good one for sure. We got just 3 races left in the season tonight here at Monza. We got Spa coming up next week, which for all intents and purposes looks like it is going to be a downpour, 90% chance of rain next week. And then we have the 2-hour finale coming up in 2 weeks. Double points, 2 hours, and a lot on the line. And as you've seen how close these points battles are, I don't think too much is going to shake it up in these next 2 weeks, that we won't have some battles going into Red Bull Ring for the season finale. But I'm looking forward to this one here tonight. There's a lot of experience here at Monza. There's a lot of very, very fast sections here. You gotta really nail all these corners. You can certainly easily pick up some off tracks, and you gotta avoid that. Again, these drivers only have 17x before they have to come in and take a drive-through. So that could certainly come into play for some of these drivers out here tonight. We'll see who can handle it and who can handle it the best, and who's going to come out on top. Last week was certainly a fun one, a wet and wild Suzuka that's seen John Schwartz come in and go back-to-back, as he won the previous week at Road America. But last week, he did it with a little bit of fuel mileage, as he was one of the few drivers out there in the field to make it a one-stop race. And we were kind of scratching our heads wondering what exactly was going on, and didn't realize it until about 2/3 of the way through the race what John Schwartz had up his sleeve. And he certainly made it pay off and got himself a win. Back-to-back wins now for the 24, and still in his rookie status. He's still only got 3 races in. Tonight will be his 4th race, but I mean, it looks by all means like he is going to end up graduating out of the rookie class straight into the top division, into the gold division here. And looking forward to seeing what he can do if he comes back out for next season in 2025 with a full schedule, and see what he can do to these big boys at the top, like Dominique Ford, Mason Smith, John Nominger, Dave Tilford, all these very fast drivers out here. You take a look right now from the blimp at a little bit of history, and you see the oval portion here of Monza not run on at all anymore, and is just kind of left to decay away into the earth right now. But it is scanned here in iRacing. It is still there in real life, and it used to be run as a huge track here. And we'll take a look at the track map here that you see that they're running here tonight, and the typical GP Monza style track here. But it used to be this track plus the oval as one whole continuous track back in the day. So I could not imagine running Formula One cars around this high banked oval that you see right there on the screen, and then basically just staying to the side of cones to go onto the main racetrack that we'll be racing on here tonight. And then kind of the same thing at the end of that lap, you're staying inside cones to go back onto that oval. So it had to be just blowing your mind doing that kind of thing here. But it is it's a fun little layout the way it is right now with just the straight road course. I know we had some fun certainly running the oval track with some cars in previous series, in the Premier Series and 87 Series, and it's high banked, and it's as big as you know, your Talladegas and Daytonas when it comes to the length of the track. I believe it's a 2.5 mile oval, but it is tight. It is white knuckling, and it is bumpy as all heck. Luckily, these drivers won't have to deal with that here tonight, and by all means, it looks like they won't have to deal with any kind of weather as well, which is, I know, certainly was sitting on a lot of the minds of the drivers. But we are done with qualifying, so it's about time we take a look at our qualifying lineup here tonight. And we are going to start with the gold division. And top of the boards is going to be Dominique Ford with a 147.635. Mason Smith in second. Nick Terrell, Dave Tilford, Ricky Renner, Michael Brock, and Jack Peterson for your 7 cars in the gold division. In the silver, it's going to be John Nobinger, Braden Carlson, Tyler Kokeko, Jimmy Covert, and Justin Kirby for your top 5. Eli Brandel, Abhi Vishwasam, Nathan Nickerson, Alan Gullison, Brandon Domain for your top 10, and then Jake Jackson rounding out the 11-car silver division. In the bronze, we got Josh Betts, James Molyneux, Jesse Francisco, Tim Thompson, John Crane, Terry Jansen, and Alexander Hamrick. And then in the rookies here tonight, we got 4 of them out there. John Shorts certainly is going to be up there battling it with the top of the field here. Actually qualified 3rd overall. Then you got Tyler Skozen typically up here in the booth with me. He's running his one-off race here tonight. William Burrell, you're used to seeing him over there on CSRLs on Wednesday nights, but he's going to come out here, run his one-off here tonight, and then maybe get ready for Season 10 coming up in 2025. And then Ian Howard, another one kind of doing the same situation, just wants to run his one-off here tonight at Monza. It's certainly a popular track, and it's a track that a lot of drivers have familiarity with out here, so looking forward to a good one. But we'll take a look at what the overall looks like, just to show you what the overall standings are here, at least at the top of the boards, if it will show that to me. Not sure why it's kind of just stuck right in the middle there. Try refreshing it one more time. Yeah, for some reason, just wants to go to the bottom. Just manually go up there. There we go. And you see some quick times there. Obviously, Jonathan Schwartz up there in 3rd place, but even John Nominger, top of the silver division, but he is 4th place overall. Braden Carlson, Tyler Kokeko also right there for the bronze division. But we are pacing here around Monza and getting ready to fire this thing off, as it's kind of an abbreviated pace lap here at Monza, as they're already going through the Ascari S-turns and heading down the backstretch here towards the Parabolica. Just a beautiful, beautiful facility here. It's certainly a fun one watching the F1 cars get around here. We get to watch the Core GT Series around here tonight, and we'll see who's got the top times. We'll see who can get through the first S-turn, the first little bus stop known as Prima Variante, and it's certainly a test of skill, and you're going to have drivers wanting to go in there too wide. It's not recommended. It's really, really tight. It can be done, but it's really, really tight. Coming out of Parabolica here and getting ready for the green flag. The pace car is going to pull off, and we've got 1 hour of GT racing. Barney on the left there, I think he's just there going to watch these drivers, and I don't think he has a green flag, but I could be wrong. I feel like I've seen it before where he doesn't actually wave the green flag there. It's a little bit further down the straightaway.
Green.
And indeed, there we go. We do get the green flag here. And we are racing, and already some incidents in the back of the field. Tim Thompson, Alexander Hamrick involved. Tim Thompson already got some damage on the front end of it. You see 3, 4 wide heading down into turn number 1. I said he can't go too wide. I guess I didn't say anything about 3 wide, but somehow it looks like, for the most part, the field is going to make it through. Heading off through I got to catch my breath already. Well, the field now going to head into the second variante, and luckily they're just, for the most part, single file going through here. We'll certainly take a look back and see all the racing action, some too wide back there further in the pack as the field heads through the first and second Lesmo corners. Man, I was not expecting 4 wide for sure going into turn number 1. I know it's possible, but that's pretty hairy and scary right there from the rip. Heading now down the Curva del Sol and towards the Ascari for the first time. And it is Dominique Ford in the lead. Jonathan Schwartz has separated the teammates. He's got himself into second. Mason Smith in third. John Nobinger and Nick Terrell for your top 5. As Jimmy Covert going through the grass there a little bit. I'm sure that's going to be a slowdown for him. As you see him pulling off to the side there, letting a few cars go by as he has a slowdown. But first time into Parabolica is still a Dominique Ford. As the field spreading out here a little bit. And leading at lap number 1 is going to be the 91 of Dominique Ford, but not by much. He's already got Jonathan Schwartz nipping at his heels. And that will bring up all the standings and telemetry here. But in the meantime, while we get a chance, let's go ahead and take a look at what exactly happened on the start of this race. And a little bit of a bunch up there, and it looks like somehow Hamrick got up through the middle there and spun around to the side. We'll take a look at that one more time here, maybe from a different angle. Hamrick goes to the middle and just avoiding action there, and unfortunately takes out Tim Thompson in the process. And then down into turn number 1, you see this 4 wide once again. Schwartz going over the grass to try and stay on that inside. And it looks like everybody just kind of bottlenecking and slowing up. I don't think anybody actually crashed through here. We'll just take a look at it one more time, a little bit further towards the back. I don't think anybody crashed per se in the beginning here. There's just a lot of people stopping, and SDK registers that as a crash. Yeah, everybody making it through cleanly, from what I can see at least. Alexander Hamrick, first time through Ascari. Car snaps out and hard impact into the wall. Going to spin him around, and would very well need a fast repair after the first lap there, a couple of little incidents. We'll get you back live, and it is a bit of a 3-car breakaway here at the front. Dominique Ford, John Schwartz, Mason Smith for your top 3. And we got a couple little stragglers here and there. The 131 of Jake Jackson off the back of the pack here a little bit. Actually, Ian Howard, the first one, kind of off the back of the pack a little bit. Then Jake Jackson, Brandon Domain back a little bit further, and then Alexander Hamrick all the way in the back of the field after that spin out of Ascari. Tim Thompson certainly a little worse for wear on the front of that thing, but he's at least caught up to the pack itself. He's currently right behind Terry Jansen. And the points leader coming in here, that's not the start that he wanted, certainly here at Monza, but it seems like the car is at least handling okay. Maybe just the front end got ripped off on that one, but we'll take a look and see what happened here to Jimmy Covert as he had to take some avoiding action. Not sure why it went on to Justin Kirby there, but let's take a look at that one more time here. This is Jimmy Covert heading down into turn number 1 right behind Eli Brandel. And Covert maybe just braking a little bit later, or missing his braking point, but he's had to go through and possibly have yet another slowdown. Jack Peterson, this is right in front of Eli Brandel, just dipping off track here a little bit. You're going to see that, I think, quite a bit. That is at a second Lesmo, and certainly a corner that can provide some off tracks for sure. Tim Thompson here trying to catch up to Terry Jansen to make the pass, but we'll go back up to the front here. And you see still very, very tight battling at the front. Everyone just kind of holding in line. Take a look back at, again, driver that you're used to seeing over there in CSRL. We've got the CSRL paint scheme side by side right now with James Molyneux heading down into turn number 1. This is the battle for 19th and 20th on the track. And everything going to sort out for now. But welcome to Monza. I mean, what an opening first lap or two here. I mean, it barely got to the start finish line before we already had some incidents. But then 3-4 wide heading into turn 1. I mean, it's just it's a hectic turn number 1. We'll take a look at it one more time. I mean, why not? It's crazy heading in here, and you see just so many cars. Again, 29 cars out here. 27 made it to turn number 1, but it just a gaggle, just all over the place. 2, 3, 4 wide heading into turn number 1. Luckily, everybody making it through there pretty much unscathed. And again, at the front, it is Dominique Ford leading the way, John Schwartz in second, Mason Smith in third, Nick Terrell, John Nominger for your top 5. Then you got Brock, Tilford, Renner, Kokeko, and Carlson for your top 10. Back a little closer battle here. One of the, well, the only BMW out here, Tyler Kokeko, right up behind Ricky Renner, and now looking for a pass down the front stretch here. And getting very close, a little bit of a bump trying to get to racing line, a little bump from behind there from Ricky Renner entering the corner. But Kokeko gonna get it done and make the pass for 8th position. Up right ahead of these guys, Dave Tilford, Michael Brock going at it. Heading down to the second Varianti, and looks like Tilford is going to have that position and be in 6th place. Michael Brock in 7th. Take a little bit further here, both the teammates here from Project Goldfarts, and got the net coat on the rear wings there, running in at 13th and 14th, that being Justin Kirby and Jimmy Culver. Some good looking CRN Core Racing paint schemes on those machines. It's like Ricky Renner had a bit of an off here. He's still in 9th place, and again, it's just the second Lesmo. Actually, that was the first Lesmo corner going off there. Just a little bit and coming right back on. There's no harm, no foul right there. Michael Brock still hanging with Dave Tilford, and now he's got Tyler Kokeko right behind him as well. So 6th, 7th, and 8th. Doing some tight battling here. And not even complete with our first 10 minutes of this race. We got a lot of racing action here. We got some pit stops that are going to be coming up for sure. But you see all the way at the front of the field, Dominique Ford doing, I'm pretty sure his tires are warmed up right now, so he's not scrubbing tires. He's just trying to break the toe there a little bit, but Jonathan Schwartz not going anywhere right now. And then Ford's teammate Mason Smith right behind, and I think Dominique is probably doing everything he can to try and get Mason Smith around Schwartz and see if those two can kind of tag team and walk away from this field a little bit, but so far not happening. Schwartz is trying to play spoiler again and trying to go back to back to back. I mean, we've seen the start of the season, Dominique Ford winning the first 5 races, but he's been stymied the last 2 weeks, running out of fuel at Road America, and then, well, fuel coming into play again as Jonathan Schwartz again pulled the single pit stop at Suzuka in the rain and got it done. So it is now Jonathan Schwartz looking to make a little bit of a three-peat here in the second half of the season. And we'll see. I mean, Schwartz obviously, missing the first few races here of the season is not going to play a factor into the points, but it would be kind of crazy to see Ford win the first 5 races and then Schwartz come back and win the second 5 races. but we'll see how it all plays out. Still a lot of racing left to go here, but yeah, Janae, I agree. I mean, we're not officially in England here in Pennsylvania, but I'm already tired of the winter, and it's not even winter yet. But we've had snow the last couple of days. I think it may even have a chance of snow right now. And I'm done with this cold weather. I think I'd rather be here in dreary Italy here, where the drivers are right now in Monza. But it's some good racing out front here, and again, a bit of a breakaway. We'll take a look at what the overall standings currently look like. And you see the top three here breaking away from the rest of the field by about 3 seconds. Back to Nick Terrell in fourth. Nobody rounding out that top five. But it is Ford, Schwartz, and Smith for your top three. Smith taking a peek here to the outside of Schwartz heading into Ascari, but it's not going to happen. Going to fall back in line. There's still 1, 2, 3, looking a bit back further in the field, coming through Ascari. Nomier getting a little bit squirrely through there and getting a little shot there from Kokeko. If Kokeko didn't give him a shot, I think he would have had a run, but instead it is Michael Brock saying thank you very much. He's going to take one position. And now a little bit of a deke. He's going to go for his second position heading into the Parabolica. Brock on the inside of Nominger, and netcode getting involved. You can see without even a replay, that was some really bad netcode between him and Nominger. And what could have been, I mean, Brock was looking to move himself up into sixth position, and it did not happen. We'll take a look at it here one more time. You see it pretty clearly right there, about a foot in between the 421 and the 44, sends Brock into the inside wall. Meanwhile, while we were taking a look at this battle here, we're going to change up position up front, and it is Mason Smith going around the outside here using the toe, and it looks like maybe John Schwartz just kind of laying back there and giving him the position. So now it is the teammates Ford and Smith for your top two positions. Schwartz going to fall back into third. We'll hop back here to Michael Brock, as he's certainly going to try and reel this pack back in and try and work his way back up through the field. I mean, it's just battling, trying to get to sixth place. Really tight racing with John Nomier, but unfortunately, sometimes when you battle a little close here, you're not live on track here. We're utilizing servers, and it just takes a little bit of a glitch in the server on one side or the other, and you get a little netcode. I guess it's apropos that he's running behind the two cars with the big old netcode on the back of their spoilers there. It's got to be one more slap in the face to Brock for sure, having to look at that after that's what he just dealt with. But still a long race to go here. We are only 14 minutes into this race, an hour long, and already Brock right behind Jimmy Covert. And hopefully this time he can get to the inside and keep away from Nico. Looks like he's just going to back out of it. Covert's going to have that position, and Brock going to try and get the run down at the front stretch. Another battle right in front of them as Jack Peterson going to the inside here. You're going to make the pass on Ricky Renner. As you see, Alexander Hamrick just letting these drivers go by into turn number one. Let them do their battles. Looks like Renner certainly has a little bit of damage on the front end of that 53, and it could be hampering him, especially down these straightaways. Another battle back here. And actually right in front of Josh Betts is Jesse Francisco holding on to 20th overall. Beavis Vassam currently in 21st, but 9th in the silver division. And it's good to have him out here on the track, but he's certainly back a little further than I expected him to be. But there's a lot of talent in this field anymore. I mean, 29 drivers, and a lot of these guys have a lot of talent, whether it's gold or silver division, and even some of the bronze drivers get up there and sneak up every once in a while and kind of have some surprising results. And right now, Bishop Asham is stuck behind the top two in the bronze division, that being James Molyneux and Jesse Francisco. And Molyneux doing a pretty good job here. He's got about a 3-second lead. You see him right here over second place Jesse Francisco. And for once, knock on wood, so far the Corvette is treating him okay. I know we've talked ad nauseum and let him know, like, hey, listen, the Corvette is not the easiest car out there, and we've seen him have his struggles, especially in the rain. The Corvette is just it's a beast when it comes to the rain, and it's tough enough on the dry surfaces, but he's a Chevy man. He wants to stick with his Corvette, and maybe for once he can pay it off, as it is actually 3 Corvettes here in a row. Molyneux in the Corvette, Francisco in second place in the bronze in the Corvette, and then Bishop Asham running the Corvette here tonight, as well as he is in 21st behind this crew. But out front, it is Dominique Ford by 0.3 of a second over his teammate Mason Smith. John Schwartz in third, Nick Terrell, Dave Tilford now for your top 5. And you got Nomier, Kokeko, Carlson, Peterson, and Renner for your top 10. Kokeko now right up behind Nomier as he's trying to make a move and move himself up into 6th place. As both of them go off track there, coming out of the second Lesmo corner. Heading now down into this car, it looks like Kokeko's getting a nice little run, but Nomier's just kind of running a bit of a defensive line in the middle, but Kokeko now going to show his nose to the inside, going to back out of it. You got Braden Carlson right behind, just waiting, licking his lips, and would love to just go ahead and pick off 2 positions if these two get together, as long as they don't take him out with them. But some good battling up in that side at the top 10 right now. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to CRN for the Core GT Series, as 3 races left in the season tonight, next week at Spa, and then 2 weeks is going to be Red Bull Ring season finale. But already got the eyes on season 10 starting up. The first week in January in 2025 is going to be season 10 for the Core GT Series. Going to be right back here in the GT3 cars. But got some more that are going to be coming out here. There are going to be some more series that are going to be stepping up here in Core altogether. So certainly keep an eye out for that. And not all of them are going to be broadcasted, but we got a mini stock season that's going to be coming up in 2025, and an LMP2 season. So we'll see how the one is for that, and what kind of a driver count is out there for the LMP2s, as that's going to go back to back with CSRL. It's not confirmed that it's going to be broadcasted just yet, but if there's enough driver count and enough want to see it, then it could very well be broadcasted right after the CSRL races on Wednesday night here on CRN, and could very well have 2x2x2 all the way through the week like we typically do. And we got a few series coming back. Virtual Velocity Racing going to be coming back in 2025, most likely around the February time, following the NASCAR schedule. And certainly looking forward to getting them back. But we got a few special events coming up on the horizon here, not just in Core, but among some other leagues as well. Virtual Velocity Racing looking to put on a Christmas event coming up later on here in the month. UCRL looking to have a special event coming up, I believe, in the beginning of the year. And then Core is also going to have a few special events coming up as well. We got the Drivers' Cup. We got the King of Core playoffs coming up as well. So a lot of good things coming up. And all before that, coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, is going to be the CRN Cup. And that's where you get to see all these drivers across all the series get together and battle it out and hash it out and see who's got the best drivers in what league, and really just a chance to go out there and have fun. exhibition style, and maybe bring some awareness amongst different leagues, and let these drivers know, hey, there's some other really good options out there, whether it's a UCRL or CSRL, or giving those and VVR, giving those drivers a chance to take a look at some of the core drivers here as well, and just kind of intermingle and do a little bit of marketing amongst the leagues as well, and really just have some fun and see who's got the grit and who's got the speed out there, and get a little bragging rights. But you seen pit stops are underway. The first round of pit stops are starting to happen here on lap number 11. Majority of the field coming in, but your top 6 right now: Ford, Smith, Schwartz, Terrell, Nobinger, and Kirby, all deciding to stay out for one extra lap here, and these top 3 have not been separated by more than a second this entire race. Right now, it is 0.6 of a second separating the top 3 here in the race between Ford, Smith, and Schwartz. And I'm sure we'll see that top 6 come in this time, as it's right around just past a third of the way through this race. And sure enough, here comes all 3 of the top 3 right to the line, locking it up. Nobinger are going to follow suit, as is Terrell, and Justin Kirby coming around parabolic right now. He will most likely stay to the right-hand side, and yes, indeed, he's going to come into the pits as well. Take a look here, as it looks like Terry Jansen had a bit of an issue here coming into Prima Varianti, the first chicane here, and yeah, it looks like just missing his braking mark. I'm going to take the bit of a shortcut here / slowdown through the straight, and not even worry about the going through the chicane. And we've seen it before. We've seen drivers just do that because they don't want to deal with going through through the chicane there. And honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen it more on the first lap. When you got cars just 2, 3, 4, 5 wide into turn number 1, maybe just go straight and not have to worry about all the BS there, and then just worry about the slowdown and get yourself back into the mix. We'll see. Looks like another situation here. Mason Smith coming into turn number 1 here, and he's going to do the same. He's going to miss the braking point, go through the slow chicane here. He's going to come out, but Jonathan Schwartz, as you see, has taken back 2nd place, and a bit of a gap for the first time. Pit stops, shocker, have separated this front just a little bit. I mean, where you see it right there, still less than a second separating these top 3, but this is the most spread out we've seen them all race, as it's 0.6 of a second from Ford to Schwartz, and then another 0.3 of a second back to Mason Smith. But how about this pass for the lead? Schwartz into Ascari, and maybe this is Ford kind of holding back there and going to try and pick up his teammate to get back up to the front here. But in the meantime, the 24 is your new leader. Question is, how long will Ford allow him to have this thing? Looks like at the very least, Schwartz is going to get through the parabolic and complete this lap as the leader. And maybe Ford just decide to tuck in here and do a little fuel saving. We'll see what happens here, but it looks like we might have had some more issues here. Wow, Covert with some major damage. We'll see where this thing started. Side by side here with the 421, and it's hooked right across. Hard impact. Take a look at that one more time, and try and get a different camera angle, because it seemed like it was right there, right when it happened. And looks like netcode involved again here, as he hooks across the front of Michael Brock. And certainly I'm wondering, I haven't seen any kind of blinking or any kind of issues there for Brock, but it seems like this is twice now that a car has gotten close to him, and netcode just destroying, excuse me, the 14 here of Jimmy Covert, and he eventually had to tow back to pit lane. Take a look at another incident here. This is Abiy Vishwavasan, and did not even see Covert coming out of the corner, and he had to tow into the pits as well. Back out front, Mason Smith has caught and passed Dominique Ford. As now it is Schwartz, Smith, and Ford for your top three. Tilford has gotten ahead of Terrell after the pit stops, as that is your top five. Then you got Kokeko in front of Nobinger, Carlson, Peterson, and Renner for your top 10. Still not even halfway through this race. Got a few different leaders now. Some big crash there as Mason Smith goes wide. Not sure if that's going to be a slowdown or not. Either way, Ford is going to tuck in behind him and give a little help, and they're going to see if they can double team Schwartz here and get around him. Certainly going to go for the pass, heading down into turn number 1, and sure enough, it is going to be Smith and Ford to the front of this field. Schwartz going to be relegated back to 4th. Take a look back here as really not too far behind these guys. Dave Tilford trying his best to catch up to the front of this field. Is currently only 2.6 seconds behind Schwartz. So still within sight, and then another 1.5 seconds back. You see right there in the Mr. Machine, the Mystery McLaren, is Nick Terrell here in the 081. That is, again, your top 5. Fastest lap of the race so far turned in the last lap, and that is by John Nobinger here in 7th place, right behind Tyler Kokeko, running a 147.99. First driver to eclipse the 148 mark here tonight. Take a look at Wayne Burrell as he had a bit of an off here coming out of Prima Varianti. Comes back on the track, keeps it on the right-hand side as Molyneux is going to get around him. He's going to tuck back in line, so nothing too bad right there. Michael Brock will be going off a little bit wide. Yeah, certainly a little bit wide here in the first Lesmo corner. Back up to the front, and Ford, I think by design, is letting Mason Smith out front. He's trying to push him away and get away from Schwartz, but I don't think Schwartz is going anywhere anytime soon. He's been a thorn in the side of these top drivers since he's got over here to Core, and he's looking to try and go back to back to back, but he's going to have to deal with a couple teammates out front. But you see the rest of the field. This field is not spread out by much at all. We'll take a look again at the overall here. And you can cover the top 5 drivers here by less than 5 seconds. And coming up on the halfway point, that's a pretty nice thing to have here for all the viewers out there. You got the top 5 covered by 5 seconds here at the front. Anything can still happen with this thing. Yeah, it's a little bit of a breakaway for the top 3 here, but not by much. One little mistake by any of these guys, and the rest of the field is going to be right there. I'm not sure Max wants to do any kind of road racing after his dad Matt decided to throw him into Tsukuba with the mini stocks. I'm still. There's not often I question parenting out there. I'm not sure about Matt on that one, as that was a deadly combo. But I got to give it to the little guy. He certainly stuck it out and did his best out there, and got to turn some laps out there with the big boys here, and had a little fun doing it. But I'm not sure he'd want to be out here with these GT3s here, as it's some fast times out here. And I mean, again, I love to see this right here is going a bit wide there out of the corner. Was John Nobinger, but I mean, you look at even the top 9 right now separated by 10 seconds. It's not often that we see this deep in the race, the top 10 this close. So I'd love seeing it right now. As we got a bit of a battle here. Brandon Carlson in 9th place, Jack Peterson in 8th. Carlson looking to get a run out of Parabolica down the front stretch and trying to move himself up into 8th position. Currently running 3rd in the silver class as he looks out there. Not going to get too much drafting help by Ben Canal, but it looks like he's content just hanging behind Peterson right now, kind of pushing him down the front stretch to try and get away from Ricky Renner right behind them, the final car in the top 10. something that is going to be fantastic, and it was all kind of brought into play a little bit by the Core Mini fundraiser. Is we got two series that are going to have title sponsors going into next season. As this series right here, the Core GT series, is going to have a new title sponsor. It's going to be the Chase Signs and Graphics GT series for next season, and a big thanks and a shout out to Josh Anderson for helping out with that, and he's going to be helping us get on board with them and getting a title sponsor for the series for next season. And then thanks to Alan Elwood, is it's still in the works, but it's confirmed for next season that next season for the GT series, it is going to be the Elwood Designs Core Xfinity series, not GT, the Core Xfinity series. My mistake there, but it's great when we have there's some companies out there, some people that are willing to step up and sponsor a series. And we had it not too long ago. We had the Pointer Motorsports, sponsoring the GT series, and Pointer is actually going to be one of the one of the contingency sponsors for next season, and everybody that donated at least $25 and got $25 worth of tickets for the Core Mini fundraiser is going to get the opportunity to put their business or anything up on the Core broadcast for all of next season, as just a little thanks for them helping out. But I mean, we're taking a look at this battle right here again. This is the battle for 8th and 9th place overall, and too far in front of them is another battle, and it is Kokeko currently holding on to the top spot in the silver division, but he's got John Nomiger right behind him. Only driver to crack into the 147s here tonight, whether it's draft 8 or not. It's still an impressive lap there, running in the 47s. Out front in the race, though, it is Mason Smith leading the way, Dominique Ford in second, and Jonathan Schwartz in third. The top three still only separated by 9/10 of a second, as we head off now into our second half of the race, already completing minute number 32, and we got another 27 minutes left in this race. Got another pit stop that's going to be coming up here probably in the next 7 minutes or so. But right now, they're all chasing the number 6, the number 99, and the number 24 out front. And it's I think it's time to let these engines do a little bit of talking and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it. Beautiful sights and sounds here around the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, and the great sounds here of the Core GT series, and listening to all these GT3 cars roar as we got quite a bit of McLarens out there tonight. One BMW, luckily for all the Tifosi out there, there's two Ferraris in the field, and that being held by Braden Carlson and Ian Howard out here tonight. As you come to Monza, you need at least one Ferrari out there in the field to make the fans out here happy. But currently out front, it is still Mason Smith, Dominique Ford in second, Jonathan Schwartz in third, still covered by 1 second out here out front. Second round of pit stops has already started. We'll see if the leaders here decide to come in this time by, as we're in that second, coming up on the third of the race here, but it looks like the top three is still going to stay out. Dave Tilford, he's going to come into the pits. Nick Terrell going to stay out here another lap, as is John Nominger right behind him. Justin Kirby now coming into the parabolic. We'll see if he decides to make his pit stop this time by. And he is going to stay out as well. So a few cars deciding to stretch this thing out in the second leg of this race. And the weather looking a bit more overcast right now, but it looks like so far the rain is holding off. I don't see any rain. It would certainly throw a bit of a wrench into the system if it would decide to start raining right now. And I'd love to see it just to really mix it up and really make these drivers have to worry about it for this last half of the race. But we'll take a look real quick at the weather, and you see really not much into play, about 1% chance of precipitation by the time this thing is over. So it is all to play here, and it's all going to be done in the dry, as top two still trying to stretch away, still trying to get away from Schwartz, but Schwartz will just not go away. And I think it's going to come down to this last pit stop to see how everything shakes out, as there should be coming in most likely this time by the car the highest up in the running order that has made a pit stop is currently Dave Tilford, as the top six of Smith, Ford, Schwartz, Terrell, Nominger, and Kirby yet to come in. Coming around the parabolic this time, and it looks like Mason Smith going to be coming in. All three going to be coming in, and getting everything he can is Jonathan Schwartz, as you see him side by side down pit lane. And all three are going to make it into their pit stalls cleanly. You see Ford has got that pit stall all the way at the front, so he angles it out there a little bit so he doesn't have that wall to deal with. And you see the rest of the top five coming in here. Oh, Nominger out shooting his stall a little bit. Ford saving some fuel on that run. He is going to come out and take over as your new leader. Mason Smith in second, Schwartz in third. Now the question is, do we have any kind of fuel situation here? We had the last two races. Obviously, 2 races ago at Road America, it was Dominique Ford running out of fuel. And then last week, it was Jonathan Schwartz making the fuel last all the way. Now, here we go. Ford looks like he may be letting Mason Smith go on by again. Will Schwartz get up here in the mix? He will not have a chance. Ford's going to duck back in second place. But now here comes Schwartz looking for a way around, a little bit of bobbing and weaving. But he is going to stay in line here. It's going to be the top three. And the question is, when, if anybody, will make a move here in these final minutes, as we got about 14 and a half minutes left in this race. Top 10 is Smith, Ford, Schwartz, Terrell, Tilford, Nominger, Kokeko, Carlson, Peterson, and Renner. But you see your leaders in classes is Mason Smith in the gold, John Nominger in the silver. The bronze is Jesse Francisco, and then your top running rookie driver is obviously right here, Jonathan Schwartz, as Ford gets ever so close to the back of Mason Smith through Ascari right there. But man, no separation right here at all, and certainly no separation right here as well, as Jack Peterson and Braden Carlson have been stuck to each other for quite some time as well, back here in 8th and 9th place. Just kind of waiting for this to come to a head as well. And a bit of a gap now between Nobier and Kokeko. Could mean that these two could possibly run down Kokeko and get themselves in a battle for 6th position or 7th position. It's certainly a bit strange for Ford letting his teammate go there, Mason Smith, in the lead, but I feel like the reason he got the lead, the way that he got the lead coming out of the pits there, was potentially by taking a little bit less fuel than the other two out there, so he probably has to tuck in here behind Mason Smith, just save that little bit of fuel all the way to the end. So a little bit of a forward thinking and some strategy here on behalf of the 91. It's at least what I'm thinking is happening. I could be completely wrong for sure, but right now it's got that 1, 2, 3, but we got another battle about to brew, and that is Dave Tilford looking for a second for a pass on Nick Terrell. This is the battle for 4th and 5th overall. Good little scrap right here as Terrell currently holding the spot, and we'll show you how everything shook out here. Terrell coming out of the pits as they went side by side in turn number 1. And Terrell just able to hold off Tilford again. Tilford coming in a little bit earlier. But meanwhile, at the front of the field, it's mixing up as well. This was heading down into the Parabolica. A brief second, Schwartz did have 2nd place. But Ford running on the inside there is going to be able to hold him off, at least for now, but certainly Schwartz is looking to get up there in the mix, but he's got teammates helping each other out right now at the front of this field, but it's certainly getting closer to Terrell trying to get away from Tilford, heading off into turn number 1. It's still going to be the 081 leading over the 12, but certainly really close coming out of Prima Varianti. We'll see if Tilford can set up anything into 2nd to Varianti, but looks like he's just maybe a little bit too far back. Unless he makes any kind of lunge here, he's going to hold off in that line for now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is getting close to go time here at Monza. We're getting down to the final 10+ minutes here in this race. Who do you think is going to pull this thing off? It's certainly a 3-car breakaway at the front, but if they mix it up at all, Nick Terrell and Dave Tilford are not that far behind. They can certainly pick up the scraps here. It's been a very good one here, and really, you know, obviously you look at the rookie division, there's a big gap between Schwartz and Tyler Skozen out there running in 2nd, but Tyler doing a great job with his one-off race out here tonight in the UNOH Mustang. Currently running another broadcaster that is licking his wounds right now, Jimmy Cover, getting involved in that early incident, is out there now just trying to get all he can get. But Skozen doing a good job here, currently running 15th overall. But the rest of the field, you see the gap between Nobinger and Kokeko, only 4 seconds, so not really that much with 10 minutes to go. One little mistake. Obviously, we've seen Smith and Ford nose to tail pretty much this entire race. And then even in the bronze division, Francisco, one mistake by him, and Molyneux will be right there. But at least for Molyneux, having a good race here, running in 2nd place, and for the most part, keeping that Corvette in line here tonight. But these 3 are in line, and I think both the 212 machines here doing everything they can to shake Jonathan Schwartz, but he is not going anywhere, as we said multiple times here tonight. It's a 3-way battle for the win. Will we see Dominique Ford get his 6th win of the season? Will we see the run for Schwartz continue and go to 3 wins in a row? Will we see Mason Smith finally crack through? It feels like it's been forever since we've seen that 6 on the top step of the podium. Or will all 3 of these guys just get to mixing up a little bit too much and allow Nick Terrell and Dave Tilford to reel them in and possibly grab a win here tonight? Schwartz ducking out there a little bit of a fake there, not close enough to make any kind of passes. We're coming down towards the end here as they catch up on the lap car here of Tim Thompson. Heading off down into the Parabolica one more time. Should be about maybe, I want to say 3-4 more laps to go here. So it's coming down to the end here, and they're going to certainly have to start making some passes soon. At least for Schwartz. He's going to have to get around Dominic Ford. He's going to have to break this little tandem up here at the front to have any kind of shot. But it's not easy. And you see him weaving back and forth, trying to give each other the toe and not let Schwartz get into it. But he is still right there, heading off into the or to the Prima Varianti turn one more time. Again, Ford goes defensive to block that inside. And not going to happen right now for Schwartz. He's still in third, for better or worse. Take a look back at the battle again for fourth and fifth. Terrell still holding the position, but Tilford all over him, trying to get up there. And this has allowed John Ominger to sneak up in here and still has a chance to battle for a top 5 overall. Currently leading the silver division by a bit of a gap there now, 4.8 seconds back to Tyler Kokeko. And here comes Tilford. It's a little bit of a deke there to the inside, not going to happen yet. Some more battling towards the back as Braden Carlson, Jack Peterson have the biggest margin in between them we've seen for quite some time, as they've caught up to the back of Kokeko. So this is 7th, 8th, and 9th on the overall right now. Of course, 7th and 8th battling in the silver. 9th place Jack Peterson is 5th in the gold division. Back at the front as they head down to Parabolica one more time. And still Smith, Ford, and Schwartz. But for how long? How long will these 3 drivers stay in the line that they're in right now? Coming up to the line, we got about 6.25 minutes left in this race. Nice little gap forming now at the front as they try and stretch away. But I mean, I say a nice little gap, it's still 0.4 of a second from first to third. So just the fact that you can see a car width difference in between second and third was a bit of a breakaway there for a second. Dave Tilford has finally been able to make the pass for 4th place. I'll show you how it was done. Bit of a bobble out of first couple corners there for Terrell, and open the door to the inside for Dave Tilford. He gets on by. Nomier wasn't close enough to mount a charge himself. So it is going to be Tilford now. 3rd place in the bronze, 4th place overall, and Terrell right behind him in 5th. 5 minutes left in this race. 5 minutes plus for all you football hooligans. 5 minutes plus stoppage time in this thing, because obviously it's going to be a little bit longer depending on when the white flag is actually seen here tonight. Not going to see it this time by. It should be another 2, maybe 3 laps depending on how quick they get around this track. But a good run through Parabolica this time for Schwartz. Is he close enough to mount any kind of charge this time by to spread these 2 out? It doesn't look like he's close enough, because Ford has got that toe from Smith. It's going to take maybe a late dive, a late lunge here, and maybe going to come right now as he heads to the inside into turns 1 and 2. And some bumping and banging for sure is going to send Schwartz into the gravel, but he's still had a bit of an inside there, but Ford not going to be passed just yet. It is still Smith, Ford, and Schwartz at the front. Another dive to the inside here, but Schwartz is going to come back into line. Just a little bit of a fake there, showing the nose. These three have separated themselves by 10 seconds now. Back to Tilford and Terrell, 4th and 5th. Nobinger, Kokeko, Carlson, Peterson, and Renner rounding out your top 10 at the moment. This is certainly where we've had our eyes for most of the race. And no surprise, we have our eyes right here at the end as well. The top three still separated by 0.6 of a second. They have not been separated by, I think, more than 1.01 seconds was the biggest margin between first and third all race long. And this thing is coming down to the wire. 57.25 minutes done. We're not going to see the white flag this time by. It's going to be 2 laps to go here at Monza. We see another dive here from Schwartz. He's certainly peeking to the inside. And he's looking now. He's going to fake, go to the outside here. He's going to try and drive it deep into turn number 1 and do a little bit of the same here. But Ford is going to get enough of a run out of the corner, and Schwartz is going to have to tuck back in line again. He's tried it a couple times now into turn number 1. Does he have enough of a run to head it into the second Varianti and maybe make a pass there? He's going to dive to the outside, try and drive it deep, a little bit of a bump. Through the corner, he's going to back out of it, and now he's going to have to collect himself a bit because there's a bit of a gap here. He's going to have to try and reel them in. Again, 2 laps to go this time by, so it's going to be 1 lap to go. They'll see the white flag this time. So he's got to try and catch up here and catch up quick to have 1 more shot on the last lap. Meanwhile, Peterson back here in 8th, trying to look for a way around Kokeko. Still is yet to be able to. But they are very close, and Peterson actually had to take a bit of a, not a defensive line there, but a bit of a line that he wasn't ready for because Kokeko was a little bit slower through the corner. Out front, Ford trying to push Smith away to try and have a chance at this win for the 2 of them. Schwartz is not that far behind. Unfortunately, here at Monza, there's really kind of 2 main passing areas, and that is into the 2 Variantes into turn number 1 and turn number 5. And right now, he is not close enough to make any kind of pass into turn number 1. He's going to have to get a good run through the chicane here to have a pass into the second one as he drives it a bit deep there, but certainly has gained some ground. This thing may not be over just yet, and the question is, will Ford try to make the pass on his teammate here, or will he allow Mason Smith to get a win here tonight? Schwartz again not close enough to get it done here. So maybe into the Parabolica could be his last opportunity. He's got to keep it close and keep it tight through Ascari. It'll be his only possibility left in this race. Eli Brandel and Michael Brock doing battle as Brock has moved himself up into 12th position overall. Heading now down into Ascari. Does Schwartz have cojones to make a pass into Ascari? That doesn't look like he's close enough to do so. He's going to send a lunge, though, down the inside. Some more bumping and banging through Ascari, and there's, excuse me, certainly a bump, and Ford gets shoved off the track here a little bit, and that's going to break up the tandem twosome. Mason Smith is going to be able to drive away and get this thing done. As Smith is going to be your winner here tonight, the 6th. Mason Smith finally tasting that checkered flag once again. He is going to be your winner here at Monza. Schwartz going to come home in 2nd, but in the gold, it is going to be Smith, Ford, and then coming out of the final corners, Tilford going to get it done. and finish in third. Nick Terrell in fourth. John Nomier going to win the silver, but also come home sixth place overall. So good run by him. Kokeko is going to hold out Peterson. He's going to come up second in the silver. Peterson going to round out the top 5 in the gold. Braden Carlson, a good run for him. He's going to finish third in silver. Justin Kirby coming across, finishing in fourth. Eli Brandel is going to round out the top 5 for the silver division. Tyler Skosen coming around the Parabolica for the final time, and possibly the final laps. We see him on the track here tonight, or for the season, as Trey will hop back up in the booth with me after tonight here at Monza. But a good running here, going to finish 15th place overall in the second highest running rookie out here tonight. Jesse Francisco, though, is going to be your winner here in the bronze. Just got to finish this thing out, run through the final corner here, and looks like just going to run side by side here with the 094 there. But Jesse Francisco going to get it done here by about 5 seconds over James Molyneux, now just crossing the line. He's going to come home in second. Josh Betts in third. John Crane and Tim Thompson for your top 5 in the bronze, as some heavy impact there after the line. That'll certainly be looked at, and hopefully both drivers are okay. I know some of these drivers, run some pretty heavy setups here when it comes to their wheels, and a jar like that could certainly do some damage in real life. But great run there, great finish for sure. We'll take a moment here, get all these drivers up here and ready to get their interviews, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we got some of our drivers popping in to the waiting room here, so we'll kind of just bring them in piecemeal here, and go ahead and start with our silver class winner here tonight, and that is going to be the 44 of John Nominger. John, heck of a race out there. You certainly mixed it up quite a bit out there, just outside the top 5 pretty much all night. You had a pretty fast McLaren out there, and it seemed like McLaren was kind of the car to be in, probably about half the field in the McLaren here tonight.
Yeah, there's a little trick with the McLaren. You can, through the first chicane, leave it in second, and you can pretty much hammer it as soon as you get onto the left-hand curbing, and it just goes. It sounds horrible. Once I figured out that, you could watch the Delta just drop, and you're like, okay. So
you guys, luckily you avoided the rain. It certainly, well, for lack of better terms, looked like crap out there. I mean, the skies did not look great for sure for most of it, but it looked like you guys avoided any kind of weather out there. But man, it was a racy kind of track out here tonight. There was certainly quite a bit of passing, a lot of drafting out here, and there's not often that we see drafting actually work, but certainly heading off into Prima Varianti and even the Parabolica, we've seen a lot of passes attempted.
Yeah, it was when Nick was behind me to begin with. I was I was just like, I need to save a little fuel. I need to save a little fuel. And he finally sent it into one. I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to sit back here and save what I can. And then I had one little mistake that kind of pushed me back and let David get in front of me. Oh, I got to slow down through turn one. And barely got back in front of Tyler.
Well, I mean, you got the win here in the silver division, so obviously you got to feel good about that. But I mean, 6th place overall, it's got to feel tremendous to come up here and just miss out on the top 5. It's a heck of a race for you.
Judging by my practice, I was hoping to be somewhere in front of Mason and Dom, so I was kind of upset with myself.
I mean, you do walk away with the fastest lap of the race, the only driver to eclipse the 148 mark. So you do have that for you for better or worse.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of fuel saving, but it was fun all in all. So,
well, either way, congrats on the win here in the silver division. 2 races left in the season now. What do you think about next week and a wet and sloppy? I mean, it's Spa, so I guess you got the the wet version of the Spa here.
We'll go for it, see if we can't get another win and another win in Red Bull Ring. And I'll have to check with my teammate David, but I think that might put me in somewhere near the championship.
Awesome.
So, I mean, that's kind of what I do, right? Win a championship, retired of broadcasting, worked in ARCO, worked in season 5. So I'll do another one, make it a 3-peat.
Exactly. Yeah, right off into the sunset once again. Well, congrats on the silver division win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Give a shout out to David for putting in a great performance up there and coming in 4th in gold. We did a little practice, tried to help him a little bit. So nice to see he's picked up some pace. And for you for doing the broadcast. I know Tyler skivvied off to hop in the car. I'm hoping you drug him in there during the race, at least for a little bit.
I thought about it a couple times where I'm like, you know what, it's really racy out there. And unless I caught him in the midst of like a pit stop or something, I don't want to take a chance. Let him enjoy his time out there on the track as he finished 15th overall. So good run for him out there as well.
It's pretty good for him.
Absolutely. Well, take some time to celebrate this one, but get your galoshes and your umbrella ready for next week, as it's going to be a fun one out there at Spa for sure.
Time to have some palm treats.
That is your winner here in the silver division, the 44 of John Nobinger. Finishing first in the bronze division is going to be the 7 of Jesse Francisco. Jesse, first of all, you got a copy up here.
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yeah, I do. A good race out there for you. Is you did some battling there with James Molyneux for the win, but then once you got into that lead, you seemed to stretch out here a bit, and it was kind of funny. We've seen a lot of the field out there in the McLaren, but there was more Corvettes out there than we typically see.
Yeah, Corvette. I mean, I've been around the Corvette for most of the season, so I'm pretty used to it. But no, it was a good race between me and James for a while. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get by him, but I think he had to slow down on the exit of 1, so that gave me the lead. And with how tight the battle was the entire race, that was enough. But no, good racing with him. I really enjoyed it, and definitely happy to come away with the win here.
Yeah, and a 17th overall. I mean, inside the top 20. Everybody out there had a pretty good race. This is a race where it seemed like you didn't really have much margin for error. One little mistake out here certainly could put you into the walls, but I mean, there's very few drivers that were kind of having issues here tonight, so you couldn't really put a foot wrong.
No, you couldn't. It was just tight. Pretty much anywhere you looked. I mean, even me and Josh, for a while, we were racing pretty hard, and that was within a second or two most of the race. So it was tough, it's making sure you executed well when you made your pit stop. That was huge. Obviously, lap 1, turn 1 at Monza is always rough, so surviving that's a big deal. Had a couple Code Brown moments, but I mean, nothing too bad, nothing demon of a door slam or anything like that. So all good.
Well, either way, it was a heck of a run out here tonight. You get it done here in the bronze division. You get the win here tonight. Spa next week, and then Red Bull Ring to finish out the season. Are you looking forward to one or the other? Are you looking forward to both of them, or you kind of dreading the rain next week and dreading the 2 hours at Red Bull Ring?
I mean, you know, the rain's always, it throws a wrench into everything. So, I mean, I love Spa, but I haven't done much practice in the wet. So it'll be new for me. I mean, obviously the last rain race didn't go too well for me, but learned a lot doing it. So I'm looking forward to next week. Hopefully we can, you know, start to get a bit of a hot streak going towards the end of the season, start making a push for that bronze championship. And going in the Red Bull Ring 2 hours, you know, it's again, just making sure you stay consistent towards the end of the season, hopefully win that championship.
Well, hey, I mean, it's only 90% chance of rain next week, you know, so there's 10% chance that it stays dry. So exactly,
green sky, you know, it's gonna be great.
So to quote that Lloyd Christmas, you tell me there's a chance. There's a chance that it's sunny.
Yeah, small chance. Yeah,
maybe it just rains for practice and you guys are clear for the race. Well, either way, it's going to be fun out there. I do look forward to the Spa races, whether it's rain or not. It's usually a good one. But congrats on the win here in the bronze division. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, thanks to you guys at Core for putting on this broadcast. You guys run a great league, and I've really enjoyed my first year doing it. Definitely plan to be back. Thanks to the guys back at UNOH on the team. Helped me out getting prepared for all these races, and all my friends back home. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the top spot here in the bronze tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Spa.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That is your winner here in the bronze division, the 7 of Jesse Francisco. Now we'll start bringing in the drivers from the battle that we watched pretty much this entire race long, as less than a second separating them all race long. Dom, we got you in the booth here. You finished third here tonight, but I mean, heck of a battle all race long. You and your teammate up there, Mason Smith, for the top 3 and really the top 2 for a majority of the race. You come home in third here tonight, but the first thing I got to ask you is that last pit stop. It looked like you were coming in there maybe a little bit slower than the other 2, but you got out in front of both of them. So was it on fuel strategy? Did you take a little bit less fuel on that last pit stop?
Well, I mean, I always try to take less fuel than most people. That's not always my strive, but coming into the pits, Mason was a bit slower than me, so I didn't want to run into the back of him. So I sacrificed my entry, which made me and Shorts going a little side by side there, which was fine. But I guess I just took less fuel. I think they had like a 35-second stop, 35.3, and I had 34.3, so I guess I just took less fuel. I didn't take any tires. I know Mason told me he was going to take more fuel, but luckily it worked out in the end.
Now, was it the plan then when you came back out to let Mason back into the lead? Was it to try and help you guys break away and try and get a 1-2 here tonight? Was it more because you took a little bit less fuel and you needed to make sure you had enough to get to the end? Or kind of what was the strategy there?
A little bit of everything. I told Mason that you can get back by me again because I got out of him early. I got out earlier than him, so I told him, you can get back by me, and it was really just to hold Shorts off because I know Mason he needed more fuel, so he'd be lifting more. So I was like, all right, I'll battle with Shorts, and we'll keep you in front. And then as you saw there, I mean, most of the time when me and Shorts would go side by side, Mason was able to get in front of me, and I can get that draft, and then get back in front of him.
To me, that was kind of the surprise here tonight. Is it seems like so often, at least in the booth here, I'm hankering for just a little draft. I'm wanting the draft to just work a little bit. Tonight, it seemed like it was kind of on full display. I don't know if it was the wind direction here tonight or what the case was, but it seemed like the draft was pretty predominant here tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't driven GT3s in a while, apart from this league. But they seem like they've improved on a little bit, at least with the McLarens. I know Tyler Kokeko, he was having issues with the BMW in the draft. So it's probably still back down to the cars and, the split up between the cars and the draft. But yeah, I felt really strong. I was able to get on Mason and really use his draft to help.
Well, either way, it was a heck of a run here tonight. You come home with a third place, and I know you'd love to come home with the 1-2 for you and your teammate there. But I mean, and as much as I'm sure you wanted to grab another win here, it's got to feel good to finally see your teammate get on the top step of the podium. I know it's been a while for Mason.
Yeah, absolutely. I told Mason at the start of the race, I'm like, well, if you get the win, dude, it's all good. You deserve it. So I let him take the lead of the race after a while, and I told him, I was like, either way this race goes, we're gonna get you this win. So I made sure to hold shorts off, because even on that last lap, he actually got a slowdown, and me and Swart, I slowed up shorts a little bit so Mason could clear that slowdown, and then we went right back at it.
It was certainly fun to watch. I mean, I jumped around a little bit to some of the other battles there, but man, I mean, you guys separated by less than a second. All three is all race, and it's got to be fun out there.
Absolutely. I love racing with this group. Unfortunately, what happened there in that last lap out of Scary, I really have to go back take a look at that one, but otherwise, it was a very clean race.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on another podium here tonight at third place, and it was a good run. It was a good, fun run out there, and at least you guys got to stay dry here tonight. Next week, probably not going to be the case. I mean, 10% chance that it doesn't do anything, so you never know. But congrats on the top three here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Again, shout out to you in the broadcast. I know Tyler's out here on track, so you don't have a buddy to talk to, but I'm excited to go back and watch that. That was a really fun race, so I'm hoping to be able to see other battles over the track. And shout out to Mason for getting the race win. Really good drive by him. We were able to get that almost 1-2 finish, and a really good win for him. So, and shout out to the rest of the field as well. From what I heard amongst everybody else, it was a really good start to the race as well, because it was really bunched up. So yeah, shout out to the whole field for keeping that clean without too many collisions. And yeah, it was a good race, and I'm excited for next week in the Acura.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats here again, and we'll see you next week at Spa.
Yes. Next week. Have a good night.
You too. That is your third place finisher tonight. Second place in the gold, Dominique Ford and the 91. Second place here tonight is going to be the man that won the last two races. Came up one spot short here tonight, but not for lack of effort. Jonathan, heck of a run out here tonight, and you were kind of the trailer for the entire race here, but by less than a second, separating the top three of you guys all night long. Was it fun? Was it hectic? Is the answer just yes? I mean, how was it out there tonight, buddy?
Yeah, thanks, Carl. Just happy to be up in the podium again. Would have definitely liked the win at the end there, but yeah, I guess the answer to your question is depends on what part of the race. So, I mean, on one hand, it was nice to be able to be super close there, just to feel like you had that chance in that train of cars and trying to save fuel. Unfortunately, everyone kind of did want to save fuel as well. I think there was a point, middle of stint too, I think Dom let me by, and again I was just saving fuel in the front, and then they ended up like training back by me on the front straight. So just really struggled to save fuel as a lead car up there, and I felt those first two stints were just all about fuel saving. So both Mason and Dom managed to do well there, and then the final stint we finally got to push, so that's kind of when it became fun. Since the first two stints, it was like you never really got to show your pace, since you're constantly coasting into braking zones and short shifting and all that. So yeah, the final stint was hoping to undercut actually, and I think the leaders may have taken a tiny bit less fuel or the exact same amount, so we basically all came out together. So yeah, I just tried to push them in that final stint, hoping that they could burn fuel, even if I didn't pass them, just kind of force them to push more than they wanted to. And I feel like that was somewhat achieved. I think in the last 3 laps or so, I was able to send it into turn 1 and even the second chicane a few times. And even rewatching the replay there, I think it was hard but fair racing into those like braking zones. I did see a bit of contact, like some 0x, but it's so hard to get the cars rotated in these tight corners when you're side by side. So it's understandable. So I didn't hear what Dom had to say about that final lap incident. I also did notice that he seemed to be coasting into a lot of braking zones. It looked like he was trying to save there, and so got to send it on the inside. And it looked like I was ahead into a Sagari, and at the point we made contact, I did see a bit of a gap there in terms of the space. So it looks like it was a bit of netcode, unfortunately. Would have liked to have finished it out without any netcode contact. But yeah, I would say it was hard racing, hard to work against those two guys working together with slipstreaming and stuff. But yeah, just happy to be there at the end.
Well, I mean, talk to me about the last lap, or should I say 2 laps to go. You try to make the passes and you try to get in there, and then all of a sudden you have the bit of a off there, the bit of mistake, and you really kind of fall off the back of them. Did you feel like you had a chance to reel them back in to make one more attempt on that last lap? I mean, you're back there pretty far with them nose to tail drafting each other. I mean, it was what seemed to be a sizable gap. I mean, it was still within drafting range for you, but from what we've seen all race long, I mean, there was barely a car width in between you guys. So, did you feel like you still had that opportunity on the last lap to get back in there?
I mean, I think that if I had managed to get past an Ascari, just the line I was running, it was offline, not too much grip, a lot of marbles out there. Wouldn't have been a great exit, so probably would have been far away from Mason. So I was really hoping he might run out coming out of the final corner. So would have been hard. I think maybe if he'd been able to get Dom earlier, either on that lap or a lap before, would have been more manageable. So yeah, happy about the result. Definitely disappointed, but just trying to think of things could have done differently, and just the opportunities were hard to manage. So yeah, hopefully if there was rain, that might have made things a bit had been a bit different. But yeah, I'd say just happy to return to where we were pace wise.
Well, you're certainly going to have that, unless somehow the 10% chance of not rain comes into play next week. It looks like it's for sure going to rain next week, but it brings me kind of my next question. We got a new GT3 car coming out next week. Now, it's only going to be out for a couple days before the for the next race, and being that it's going to be rain next week, do you take that step? Do you move yourself into the Acura coming in the next week? Do you just do some testing and find the car that you enjoy, whether it's the McLaren or another one that's already on the service, and just kind of get yourself ready for the rain race there at Spa?
I can guarantee you that no matter how strong the Acura is, I will not be driving it. So you've heard it here. Heard it here first. So yeah, I don't care if anyone else is in it, but I'll be trying something else. So.
All right, buddy. Well, you get it done here tonight for a second place, just one spot short of making the three-peat here. But we got a couple races left, and we'll see if you can grab yourself a third win, and maybe even next week at Spa. But before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, shout out to Aerokinetics on the car, as well as Nick Terrell. He's definitely been a huge help throughout these last few weeks, just trying to get into the rhythm of these races. As well as just Core for the whole broadcast. So yeah, and finally shout out to Mason for the win. Did a great job.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on another podium here tonight. We'll see you next week at Spa.
Thanks.
That is your second place finisher and top finishing rookie here tonight, the 24 of Jonathan Schwartz. Last but not least, and I think the one word that can sum up, finally, Mason, we finally have you on here for last man in the interviews, meaning you are tonight's winner. How good does it feel to finally be up here and grab another win in the Core?
Oh my God, that felt great. I felt amazing. I felt a little refresher after tonight.
I mean, it's been so long since you've been up here, and you even had that kind of little bit of a lull, when it comes to your speed, and it seemed like it was just you kind of weren't finding it, whether just you weren't comfortable or whatever the case was. But we found you for a little bit there in your career, running 4th, 5th, 6th, and just outside the podium. And then all of a sudden this year, it seems like you have a bit of a resurgence. Is it having the teammate Dom out there helping you and pushing you quite literally here at times here tonight, or what was it that you kind of finally found your stride again?
Well, the team played a huge factor. Dom is my teammate, and fighting. I feel like it was a 2v1 versus versus Schwartz there most of the race. So I can't thank Dom enough for that. It's just we're good teammates all around, and we had the best strategy plan heading into this race too. I feel like we both did good, and just doing what we do, save at this track, or save fuel at this track, because since it's known for that, and just pick the right car and secure the victory. Unfortunate for Dom there at the end, but still I think it was a good result.
So does it feel like this, kind of takes the monkey off your shoulder now a little bit, and you feel like you can kind of breathe a little bit again, and maybe really find that pace so you can be fighting consistently for wins for the rest of the season, and maybe going into 2025?
Yeah, release some pressure off me now that I got a win under the belt. But yeah, I'm always hungry, and I always want more. But if anything I did just but if anything first, actually, we gotta make sure that me and Dom are out front, and then we can take our gloves off from all the competition, I guess. But still, like, competition's growing, and it's getting harder every day, or not every day, but like it's getting harder every race. With the addition of Schwartz, like Dave Tilford's finding speed. I don't know, Noviger's finding speed. All those guys taking their time and just improve race by race every day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you and Dom were out front, but you had Schwartz there, newcomer here to core fourth race in here, and he's certainly proven his mettle. But like you said, I mean, 2/3 of the way through this race, the top 10 was still within 10 seconds, and the top, I think, top 5 or 6 was within 5 seconds. So it was a 3-car breakaway between you three, but really not by much. There was only a couple seconds separating you guys from 4th and 5th. So it was a racy track here at Monza, and there was certainly a lot of drafting opportunities, and you guys worked it to a T, almost all the way to a 1-2 finish. But either way, you get it done here tonight, and whether it was Dom helping you get that win or not, either way, you had the speed to be up there. So congrats on finally getting back up on the top. Do we see maybe another one here in the making? Obviously, next week looking like it's going to be rain, and then you got the endurance finale of the 2 hours at Red Bull Ring. What do you think the chances are of maybe grabbing one more win before the season ends up?
Hoping it'll be that rain race, or that finale, probably where mostly that new car, the Acura, is going to be released. I'm hoping to capture the win, just doing the best I can, even if it means helping Dom to win. But yeah, I hope to close out and luck out those wins.
Well, you got one here tonight, and that's the main thing. You finally break through and get your win here this season. So it's got to feel good. I know you want to take some time, go and celebrate, but before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
To the family that always watches, a huge thanks again to Dom for helping me out here with the pushes and the strategy and stuff. He was more the play caller than I was, so I gotta give him more huge props to that. So I appreciate that.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the win here tonight. Certainly take some time to celebrate, but get ready for what should be a very interesting, fun, at least for me, in the booth race at Spa next week.
All right.
That is your winner here tonight overall and the gold division, the 6 of Mason Smith, finally getting it done, and certainly feel good for him. It's been a long time coming. He's had plenty of speed for plenty of years, and great job finally getting it done here tonight. That is going to do it for round number 8 here at Monza. As we said multiple times, next week is the Circuit de Spa Francorchamps, and it is 90% chance of rain. So do with that what you will. It is a fun, fast little track, but once it gets wet there, it can get very interesting. I know a lot of these drivers had their time in the Spa 24 this year, and there was rain for the Spa 24. So I'm sure anybody that took part in that had at least a little bit of time out there on the track when it was raining, so they have some experience. But when it comes to league racing, it can get just a little bit hairier. You know, all the competition that's out there. You know, everybody is hungry and wanting just that little bit more. So we'll see how it all plays out next week. But if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But that is going to do it for CRN's coverage of the Core GT Series tonight. We'll see you at the track.